Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, and about to stomp on my computer is Finster. Say hello. Okay, fine. Just stay over there, please, dear. You never know. Okay, what are we talking about? Oh, this is really cool. I just got and just listened to and just enjoyed Jules Massenet, Ariane, opera from 1906 on the fabulous Bru Zane label here, the Palazzetto Bru Zane in Italy, which actually it's in Italy, but it's like the Academy, the thing that they win and go to, like the Prix de Rome. That's what it's called, where French people go to Italy to write music. I don't know. Anyway, it's a foundation that supports little-known 19th century French music primarily, and they've done a bunch of things. I really should cover more of them. I'm going to. We're going to do a series about this stuff, but the truth is, I'm really taking my time listening to it. I want to savor it. I want to enjoy it. This is repertoire I've been dying to hear all my life, and I just didn't want to feel any pressure, so I've been enjoying it for my own personal, listening. And I get to indulge myself once in a while. I think it's okay. Anyway, this is like Massenet's 5 billionth opera. He wrote 26, I guess, 26, 27 operas. And the way that these people do this is so classy. I mean, you've got a book, you've got the CDs on the edges, and they're going to fall out, and I'm going to be very upset. And then you've got an unbelievable novel, multiple languages with synopses. This one has 2 interviews with Massenet. Massenet's dead, of course, we know it. Interviews at the time of the premiere where he talks about the opera. This one was a flop, actually, but Massenet's music is so beautiful, and it's all crafted with that wonderful French precision and elegance and just workmanship. It's just amazing. This has gorgeous things in it. Now, what is the story of Ariane? Well, we all know Ariadne auf Naxos, right? Ariane, Theseus defeats the Minotaur and because she gives him a thread and tells him how to do it. He kills the Minotaur, finds his way out of the labyrinth, and marries Ariane. However, this is a love triangle because Ariane has a sister in Greek mythology who no one ever pays attention to, but Massenet did, and Catulle Mendes, his librettist. So his sister's name is Phèdre. Phèdre, like Racine's Phèdre, Phèdre. We all know Phèdre. She's like, ephedrine, whatever her name is. So Phèdre. And Phèdre is also in love with Theseus, but she's hiding it very well. So the two of them get married, and that's Act 1. And in Act 2, they're on a boat, and Phèdre's jealousy is festering, and it's kind of depressing. And she's in love, and she's angry, and she's jealous, and there's a storm that blows up. This opera's got all kinds of, it's got the Minotaur thing, it's got a storm, it's got an act in the underworld, which we'll get to in a second. It's lots of atmosphere. So a storm blows up, and they wind up on, you guessed it, Naxos, the island of Naxos. So they're on Naxos, and Phèdre still has the hots for Theseus, and Theseus sort of is developing the hots for Phèdre, but he's too devoted to Ariane, who thinks something's going on, and so she asks her sister to talk to Theseus to rekindle his affection for her. However, that happens, and the two of them sort of acknowledge their passion, but Theseus still sticks with Ariane, and in a fit of jealousy, Phèdre destroys an altar of Apollo or something like that, and some other god, Cyprus is the god, I don't know, gets angry at her, and the statue falls over and kills her and crushes her. But because this is an opera, you're not really dead, even though you're dead. So she gets sucked down to the underworld, and Ariane, who is overcome with sisterly devotion, decides to go down to hell and beg, Proserpina, what's her name, to let her come back, to bring her back to life and let her come back up. So she goes down to hell in Act 4. And Proserpina is like, oh, it's amazing, you're alive. And she says, yeah, well, I want my sister back. And she says, it's impossible. And she says, wait, I have a gift for you, a bouquet of roses, which reminds Proserpine of life and the life that she once had and how much she enjoyed and her flowers. And she gets there's a rose aria, which is exquisitely beautiful. The solo violin, it's kind of like the meditation from Thais with like singing attached to it. So that does the trick. It's sort of like Orpheus charms them, remember? It does the trick when he sings Possente Spiritu or whatever that thing is called in Monteverdi's Orfeo. So it does the trick, and Fred comes back to life, Phaedra, and they go tootling back to Theseus. Of course, when she's back, Theseus is overjoyed, and they can no longer restrain their mutual passion. And so, as a reward for Ariadne having brought her sister back, they dump Ariadne. Isn't that nice? And the two of them sail off together, leaving Ariadne abandoned on the island of Naxos, whence she hears the songs of the sirens luring her to her death. And she sings this sort of, it's not an immolation scene because she doesn't immolate. She hydrates. I mean, she drowns. So the sirens sing to her and she walks into the sea to drown. And that's the end of Ariane. Now, it was like I said, a failure, but the music is Massenet. It's gorgeous. I mean, whether you accept or reject the plot is irrelevant. Whether libretto makes any sense or not is irrelevant. It's opera. Who cares? If you like the music, you're going to like it. The performance orchestrally is gorgeous. It features the Munich Radio Symphony Orchestra and the chorus of Bavarian Radio. I mean, this is a fully professional operation here under Laurent Campellone. Oh, he's terrific. He's terrific. And the cast, well, the men are better than the women. Let's put it this way. Theseus is Jean-Francois Borras, and he's very good. He really is. And he has there's an assistant or somebody there named Piratoyus, I can't even pronounce it, who's Jean-Sebastian Bon, or Boo. Is it Boo? Bo? I don't know. He's good too. And as the women, you have, Amina Edris as Ariadne, and she's good. She's very good. She has an attractive voice. She sings with some sense of the text and interiority. And as Phaedra, you have Kate Aldrich, who has kind of a squally, screechy voice, which I found rather unappealing. But that's me. You may not be bothered by it. I thought her voice sort of spread at the top, and and she's a higher soprano than Ariadne, kind of, at least for this voice she is. And so she's not the best, but that's not, enough to disqualify anybody from hearing the opera, because you have more than a sense of what this opera is about. It's a very good performance. It's extremely well recorded. It's on 3 CDs. It sounds gorgeous. And these productions are just what the business should always be, but so seldom is. I mean, you get the complete libretto in here. Look at that. Lots of libretto. It's in French and English, and it's just wonderful. I cannot recommend this whole series strongly enough, but this, for those of you who enjoy unusual operas. And I was thinking when I was listening to this of my dear late friend Antonio de Almeida, the conductor, who was just a wonderful guy, and he was part of an organization called Friends of French Opera that were always trying to revive this repertoire. And I'm just thinking how he's looking down and absolutely delighted that all of this stuff is finally seeing the light of day. His only regret being, of course, that he's not conducting it. But it's just wonderful. He did that Halevi la Juive with Jose Carreras. Remember that? That was his production. Anyway, here we go. Ariane by Massenet on Bru Zane. You need to hear it if you like this kind of repertoire, you like this unusual, wonderful opera stuff. It's a thrill to get to know all of this music. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.